So there I was in a hi-fi shop in beautiful Egham-on-Thames in the year of our common era, 1974. Did I say beautiful? Anyway, I was just browsing, but they were playing Frankenstein down at the back. No, not that version. That's terrible. Edgar Winter's original. I went in for a closer listen. It was amazing. The sound was dancing around the room, filling all of the space. Anywhere I stood, it sounded great. Speakers? Sonab. And now, here I am, well educated in audio theory, and yes, I have a degree. I sit locked into my vertex of the equilateral triangle that describes me and my speakers. Bog standard stereo. So what went wrong? Here's what could have made hi-fi so much different. This is an ad from Hi-Fi News magazine, September 1970, the year of Apollo 13. Feeling old yet? Anyway, what I think we're seeing here is a woman, perhaps an audiophile herself, or perhaps an audiophile's wife, which you will know from watching equipment reviews, not mine, that these audiophiles' wives are often known to have exceptional hearing. Clearly she is distressed by what she's hearing, presumably from normal stereo loudspeakers, or in the terms of the ad, an expensive stereo set. I wonder if I can do that with my eyes. I don't recommend it. Anyway, if listening to your hi-fi makes you do this, clearly there's an issue, and as the ad says, no stereo in the world can sound better than your speakers allow it to. It was true in 1970, and it's true now. And so we come to the inestimable Stig Carlson, from the land of the lingonberry, Sweden. As we see in the ad, he investigated the entire chain and found that the sound reproduction faults called speaker sounds were the issue. And here we are 55 years later, and nothing has changed. All the equipment that we use is as near perfect as physics will allow. Even turntables can sound good on a good day. But we're limited by our speakers. For myself, for my music and video production, I use speakers I can work with easily, the Yamaha NS10M Studio. Far from perfect, but they help me get the job done better than other models. For pleasure, I chose the B&W 801 back in around 1980-ish, and got me a pair when I could afford them. My ears are tuned into them, and I can ignore anything that might cause me dissatisfaction. I'm well aware, though, that they still have a speaker sound. Now, here's where there's a bit of a disconnect in the ad. It stops talking about the speaker sound and starts talking about omnidirectionality. If you don't know, and really you should, Sonab speakers are omnidirectional. In the OA5 model, to take an example, there's a woofer, sound from which escapes from close to the bottom of the cabinet, and 4 tweeters pointing diagonally upwards at a post that reflects sound all around the room. This is what I liked in the Frankenstein demo I mentioned earlier. The sound filled the room, and rather than there being a sweet spot, it was sweet everywhere. Now, for audiophiles who consider sound staging important, well, I can tell you that this is a whole different experience to normal stereo speakers. It's definitely not a precise soundstage, and you'll have trouble identifying the locations of individual instruments in an orchestra, which standard stereo theory says you should. But I'm going to adopt the Debussy La Mer position, an orchestral piece of music that almost literally washes over you like the sea. You don't want or need to hear each individual instrument. You want the whole thing to envelop you with sound. The Sonab approach is very appropriate for this particular music, and for anything else where you just want to be in the music. Funny, I'm talking about this as though I know Sonab speakers intimately, not just a relic of a memory from half a century ago. I have a pair, OA5 Type 2. Bought them second-hand from eBay a few years ago. I use them for what I like to call my boudoir system. As for omnidirectionality and filling the room with sound, first class, exactly the experience I wanted. But as for audio quality, well, age hasn't treated them well. Or at least age is what I'm going to blame it on. The sound is harsh. It needs quite a lot of high-frequency EQ, or treble control if you like, to make the sound enjoyable. I'm sad really. I like these speakers, but I don't like them at the same time. But who would reasonably expect a speaker to maintain good sound quality forever. What I'd like to say, though, is there isn't just one way of doing things. The standard equilateral triangle, often stretched or compressed to isosceles due to living room constraints, is great. But we could have more variety, more invention, more different things that we could consider and perhaps buy and love. What do you think? Would a perfect pair of Sonabs or speakers of a similar design work for you? Have you any other ideas how we might listen to music in our homes that are different to the norm? See you soon.